Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. Anton here, bringing you today another cheeky live update, and it's all about the Julen Lopetegui press conference that's just taken place over on West Ham. Now, this particular show is in association with our good friends over at Knees Up Mother Brown, kumb.com. So make sure you do go across out there and check out their wonderful content as per usual. But West Ham take on Liverpool in the Corrupt Cup, third round at Anfield, Wednesday, 25th of September at an 8 p.m. kickoff. We are going to be looking to try and kickstart our season after a not great loss versus Chelsea in the Premier League in the weekend there. But having seen off Bournemouth 1-0 at the end of last month in the last round, West Ham have been dealt not the best of draws in the Corrupt Cup, as we have been given Liverpool in this round. We have won at Anfield just once in our last 55 visits in all competitions, including 3 defeats in this competition. We're also defeated 2-1 by Liverpool back in the aforementioned final back at the replay in Villa Park in April of 1981, having drawn 1-1 at Wembley. However, it's not all bad news, because we did defeat them 4-1 in the fourth round of November 1988. Yes, I was a 5-year-old young snipping bit lad, with Tony Gale scoring a sensational free kick. It also got the better of Liverpool at Upton Park. 2-1 in the fourth round in October 1971. Unfortunately, I wasn't born there. But both men of both teams are new to the Corrupt Cup, which is what we're going to call it. So if you are all in the chat, please come in and say hi if you're watching us just now. This is live, but I'll jump through and get started on the press conference today. So, the first question that was asked of Julen Lopetegui is a little bit about team news. He says, we don't have any new injuries. I think today we will see that Nicholas Füllkrug is better too. Yesterday he trained, and today he will too. Then we'll see his level ahead of the game tomorrow. Now, this is very, very good news for West Ham, knowing that we've got him back in amongst the setup. It's a very positive situation. But what does that mean? Does that mean he will play and feature for most of the game? I highly doubt that. Of course not, if he is fit. It was interesting listening to Julen Lopetegui talk about him, because the reporter was questioning whether or not is this the perfect game to give him some recognition and some game time. But again, we just have to assess the situation when it comes to Nicholas Füllkrug. But he is back in training, and that's positive, knowing that we've got some very important games coming our way moving forward. The next question was on the squad, and he said the most important thing is for all of them to face a tough match. We know we're going to play against the defending champions at Anfield, where it's always tough. It's going to be a big challenge, but we're looking forward to it. It's funny because I don't know how I feel about the whole thing. You know, when we drew Liverpool out of the hat, I wasn't necessarily excited. I don't know how you could be, but it kind of just gets to the point where it is what it is. You know, the Corrupt Cup, as I'm calling it, is the way it is because they've allowed the top six to get the benefits of the draw, and it's just really kind of crap, and it's not fair in my genuine humble opinion. But we need to just have a squad ready to go. This is a good opportunity to try and kickstart our season somehow if we can. That would be a positive situation. Then he was asked about the cup itself, and he said that we go into every competition, want to do our best and go as far as possible to do what we have to overcome Liverpool Anfield. It's not an easy task, but we have to go there with that ambition for sure. And if you're going to want to win the cups, you're going to have to beat any team that comes your way, no matter if it's the Corrupt Cup or not. We are going to have to just go for it and try our best to get something out of this game if we can. And if not, as long as we walk away with our heads held high, then I personally will be okay with that, because obviously the main focus is on the Premier League. It has to be. We have to push focus in there. I would love nothing more than us to push forward and and win a cup, it would be great for us again. But yeah, the priority will be the Premier League. And he did say that in the press conference as well. He was then asked about changes, and he said, for the game against Liverpool, and the press journalist had said, this is probably one of those games that you should be looking at making changes, and will you be doing that? He already gave away the fact that Lucas Fabianski will be starting the game against Liverpool, and he said, we're going to try and be balanced so we can compete at our best tomorrow. We're focused on the game tomorrow. The first aim for us now is Anfield, and we have to be 100% concentrated on that. All of the squad have to be ready. Then the press decided to concentrate on a couple of the players, Carlos Soler and Todibo. Actually, the journalist had mentioned social media platforms and saying how, in particular, picked up on Carlos Soler, how a lot of fans are saying, why are we not seeing him play? And he was kind of skeptical on his reply, but he said, I'm not going to give you the name of the team, but his facial reactions made me think that maybe Carlos Soler will start the game and will feature heavily in potentially preparation for the transition into him potentially coming into the Premier League side. And he said, it's true, we have a lot of new players and some who are new to England, but we are one team. They're still adapting, but we're working for everyone to be able to contribute throughout the season. And I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see with Todibo, because that was brought up again as well. We'll see a bit of transitioning happening over the few games that we've got coming up. We've played 5, and we've got 4 points. There's some positives we can take from it, a few negatives we can take from it. But, we just have to do what it is. The next question was all about Rodriguez. Of course, he was whipped off. He says, when you change one player at halftime, it's not because of form, but it's because you feel you have to change something. It's not going against one player. It's maybe going against my first decision. I don't like to do this, but he's an experienced player and he knows these things can happen sometimes. And the press conference journalist had actually said, how do you feel about making your mistakes? And he said, listen, the buck stops with me. He was very clear about that. And I respect that. I respect the fact that he took that on the chin and he said that, this was my issue and it's my fault. So the buck stops with me. So fair play to him. We addressed that again in a second when he talks about his mistakes. And he was asked then about the Chelsea game. He said that has happened and now we're focused on the next match. For sure, we have made mistakes and that's part of football. As a coach, we make decisions, but we have to improve going forward. Always I can learn from my mistakes. Mistakes are part of football and you make them even when you win. We are working hard and we have a big commitment from the players. Again, like I said, I think that is really positive to hear him saying that. I want to see those changes. I think we all want to see those changes, but it's a very positive situation to see that he is standing up and taking the blame and taking it on the chin. And we're going to move forward, and the focus has to be on moving forward 100%. And he was asked about the season. He said we've competed well in most of our games, and I do necessarily agree with that. I'm not against that. I think we did try to compete against Aston Villa. He said, but we need to focus on tomorrow now, and we are about competing against Liverpool. It's not an easy task, but we have to think it's possible to go there thinking about winning, which I completely concur with. Finally, he was then asked about the fans before it went to the embargoed section. He said they'll be very important. Remember, 6,000 fans travelling to Anfield Wednesday night in not great weather conditions. But again, our fans have turned up left, right and centre. They said it'll be very important. It'll be great to have them there with their energy, enthusiasm. I hope we can get the right result for them. And that's all we ask for, is just to turn up West Ham, give a good account of yourselves and walk away with our heads held high, knowing that we've gave it a shot. And if we get something from it, then so be it. That would be fantastic. And that brought an end to our press conference. So I'm going to jump into the comments, see who's in there. Afternoon, Anton, and all you shy peeps on here. Good to see you, Ralph. Will tomorrow's game be streamed from the West Ham app? I highly doubt that, mate. It's on TV. Would love to call it, would J-Lo to call it the Crop Cup, but that's exactly what it is, Ralph. That's exactly what it is. Afternoon, they are not J-Lo picks, they are Steiden's picks. I feel a Moyes situation happened again. Just hope my vibes are wrong. Well, they are Steiden picks, and I think I've seen, I think it was Sean Wheatston had put out a tweet saying that Steiden had brought in all the players apart from Somerville. However, that's what we all knew. So I don't know why that's become such a big deal, because that's what Tim Steiden's role has been brought in to do. So we fully expected that to happen. So I'm not worried about that. Lopetegui knew what he was coming into. So, I don't think he's worried about it. I think he knows things need to change and they will change. Mike says priority 6 weeks ago was finishing in a European spot in the Premier League. Now it's surviving in the Premier League. So whilst the Premier League's a priority, measurement of success has moved significantly. You could say that as well. But that brings an end to the Julen Lopetegui press conference. Our reaction from the West Ham network. Make sure you, sorry, I'm coughing. Make sure you do go and check out kumb.com, our good old friends over at Knees Up Mother Brown. Fantastic content as per usual. Join us as we bring you so much West Ham content coming your way. It's madness. I so badly want us to get going so we can phone talk shite, and be careful what you wish is in their throat. Mark says, afternoon. Ant, good to see you. Yes, I think he probably was. I think there was just a generic comment that came out saying most of the players that came in came from Tim Steiden, which I don't think we're surprised about, to be honest. Sabrera says, I'm watching the game tomorrow. We can get a result. Absolutely. Anyway, listen, thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and take it easy. And come on, you Ans.